Zoom, make my heart go boom, 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 my supernova girl. Welcome to Comedy Bang Bang. Thank you to Teenage Grave Robber for that catchphrase submission. Teenage Grave Robber, I believe a new catchphrase submitter or submistress. Welcome to Comedy Bang Bang for another episode. We are about 2 inches in Febby here, and just getting through 2021 in the best decade of our lives, the 2020s. Welcome to Comedy Bang Bang for another week. My name is Scott Aukerman. I'm the host of Comedy Bang Bang. We have an exciting show today. Coming up a little later, we'll have, this is a special treat. Maybe our first one of 2021. We have an entrepreneur coming up. Wow. That's exciting. We'll get to see what his business is all about. We also have someone who has a rescue dog charity. So I would imagine we'll be talking to her about how we can get out there. I hear rescue dogs are a lot of people adopting dogs during this pandemic, especially people who are alone and don't have a lot of companionship. So I'm sure we'll be talking to her about that. But before we get to them, let's get to our what I like to call our guest of honor. This is the first time she's ever been on the show, and in fact, I believe the first time we are meeting. You know her from such things as the recent The Wrong Missy film on Netflix with our good friend Lauren Lapkus. You know her from all 9 seasons of Scrubs, I believe, 9 or 10. She also has a new show, Firefly Lane, which is out on Netflix right now. Please welcome to the show for the first time, the second Becky with the good hair. Please welcome Sarah Chalke.
Thanks for having me.
So
do you just have
nice
like a dance break every time your song comes? Like, there's no better song.
I love it when people dance to the song. It happens maybe 2-3 times a year, and it's the first time in 2021, and I really appreciate it. I wish I was videoing it, but I didn't.
2 or 3 times a year. I would have thought it was... How can you not dance when you hear it? It just gets into your body.
What is your dance song? Like, you go out to, I would imagine you go out to the clubs 2-3 nights a week. What is the song that gets you out on the floor?
Oh, just Journey's Don't Stop Believin'.
Really? That you can dance to that? And now you're pointing up in the air and you're making fists like you're about to fight someone. So you did sort of the staying alive, pointing up at the... It's like, hey, look up here. And then you're like doing fists like, okay, now that you're distracted, and now you're kicking. This is amazing. I wish this were not an audio podcast. Now you're doing the Karate Kid move
from number one. What it's going to bring out in you. And because I am standing, as opposed to sitting, because
I appreciate you standing.
I don't know how things work with technology, and this was the only way to make this microphone stand.
I appreciate you standing to attention. I wish that most of our guests would do that. I feel like, it's almost like the Comedy Bang Bang theme is the national anthem, and you forgot to sit down. I really appreciate it.
It is going to be my new national anthem.
I hope so. Well, you're from that's something I wanted to bring up. You're from Canada, which already just before the show started, I heard you pronounce oat twice. Yeah,
but that was kind of on purpose because we don't actually say oot or a boot. We actually just say out and about as opposed to out and about.
Okay.
And so it's just a little more, and like house instead of house, but not hoose. Right. So there are we do say garburator for garbage disposal and toque for hat, and there are things that are, specifically Canadian. But in terms of the accent, on my very first, when I started being second Becky, I was sent every week to this woman's house up Laurel Canyon, and Glenn Quinn, who played Mark, who had an Irish accent, we were both sent for our accents to lose our accents. And I just remember
and they do that up somewhere in Laurel Canyon?
Yeah, it was somewhere up in Laurel Canyon. I was 16. I don't know where. I just remember going into this woman's house. House. How do you say it?
Yeah, you learned it. Yeah, house.
Housey.
A thing with the ceiling and a floor.
And the floor and the walls and sometimes a door. Yeah. I went there and tried to lose my Canadian accent.
Is it something you had to work on? Do you tend to lose it no matter what project it is? Because knowing that America is so big that you are mainly appealing there, or do you ever throw one in just as like a little nod to your friends up north?
I feel like it's one of those things where every time I look at a script and start reading it, it comes out in an American accent. And the second they say cut, especially now that I'm in my hometown, I mean, my accent is obviously getting...
Oh, yeah. Is that where you're broadcasting from? You're up there in where exactly are you from?
In British Columbia.
British Columbia, BC.
BC.
It doesn't just mean before Christ.
It doesn't. It also means the best place in the world.
Right.
But
well, I would say before Christ. The best place in the world. Things really took a downturn once that guy came around.
Excuse me.
Is that how you laugh? You do the snort? I like that.
It's genetic because my Aunt Chrissy, she does it. I do it. It just, I can't, I tried. But one weird thing about accents and Canadian accents and dialect coaches that I had completely forgotten about. And we were recapping the story yesterday, and I've never shared it because it's such a weird thing that happened. So
wait, is this exclusive? You've never shared this before? This is exclusive. So this was a couple decades ago, and I was living in Canada, but kind of commuting to Los Angeles for like a chunk of auditions. So I'd go down there for like 10 days and just do a bunch of auditions. And I had this audition, with Christian Slater for, I think the movie was called like Bird on a Wire, I want to say. Bird.
Portia de Rossi played the part.
Okay, Bird on a Wire, was that not Mel Gibson? I believe Mel Gibson was in Bird on the Wire. Maybe you don't want to say it was a Mel Gibson movie because he's been canceled. Is that what's going on?
It's not Bird on a Wire. No, it's just my pandemic mush brain.
Okay, but something like Bird on a Wire. So maybe like Eagle on a String.
It was Eagle on a String, and it was clearly did very well.
Christian Slater's top liner.
I'm IMDbing Christian Slater as we tell the story.
Oh, a lot is going to come up. I mean, especially with his recent resurgence with I'm a Robot. Is that what his show was called?
Mr. Robot. And I know that because I'm on his IMDb page right now, but I am going to.
Thank you.
So I'd done a movie of the week with Hilary Swank, and her acting coach was Larry Moss, and he was supposed to be this really big deal. And I went to Samuel French Bookshop, and they have this list of coaches and their numbers. And I called him up and I said, I would love to book an appointment with you if you have time. I have this callback. And he said, okay, meet me at Barnes and Noble, like right by 3rd Street Promenade.
Sure.
In
we
Santa
all know
Monica.
It. Yeah.
And take the escalator to like the 2nd floor and meet me in the foreign language section. And
it's like he's a spy or something. It's like you're meeting Deep Throat. Is that a modern reference everyone knows?
I think it is. And well, this is, like my Bird on a Wire, Christian Slater.
This was 20 years ago. So it actually was very current.
It was very current. So I was like, it's actually 12 pages and there's some kind of yelling scenes. And he goes, doesn't matter. We're going to make sure that, you hit a home run every time. And I thought, well, he's the expert. Okay. So I go down to Barnes and Noble.
3rd Street Promenade, sure, Barnes and Noble.
Promenade. Yeah. I get up to
escalator,
the escalator,
sure.
And I'm there, by the, between Spain and I'm standing there. He's standing there. We start running it.
What's after Spain? Between Spain and
Tuscany.
Tuscany. Okay, thank you. Okay, between Spain and Tuscany.
Yeah, because every Let's Go book has Tuscany. So then I'm running the scenes with him, and we're moving through it very slowly. And he's like, now do it again, but I just want you to say every syllable very clearly. Focus in on every. So I'm articulating every syllable, over-articulating and enunciating and practicing. And I'm thinking, I don't know how this is helping me, but I guess, he's the expert. So my hour is up. We've made it about 4 pages into the 12 pages of audition sides. I'm super confused. He said, so it was like 220 cash or something like that. And at that point, I think I was spending about that for right. a month's rent. Right. So I was like, okay. And I said, so I just, was making conversation with him, and I said, I worked with Hillary and know her, and I know that, she speaks so highly of you. And he goes, oh, you're thinking of Larry Moss, the acting coach. I'm Larry Moss, the dialect coach. So I'd sort of been in elocution training for an hour.
Oh, no.
Not understanding and knowing and just being so confused for the entire hour going I don't understand how this is.
Did he pinpoint any of the Canadianisms and try to get you to lose those? Or was it merely just to make sure that you were being understood the entire time?
It was making sure I was being understood, but I think I was being understood. I was just speaking the words that were on a page.
Right. So then when you got into this audition, the final callback for this Christian Slater top liner, I'm assuming Cuffs 2, Did you then over enunciate every single word and fuck up your chances, and that's why you didn't get it?
It's like, Christian, it is spectacular to meet you.
Well, first of all, you called him Christian in the audition, which is like, I'm sure he had a character name.
I'm like, I was a bit confused between reality and movies. How does that work?
Yeah. So do you feel badly that you didn't get that role? Is that one that you take a look? You can't even remember the name of the movie.
Yeah,
so I can't imagine that you feel too poorly about it.
I can't find it.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I would say stop looking down at your phone during this interview.
So I just really felt like I needed to come through with that title, but I can let it go.
Yeah. This is the kind of thing. Who is Cletus Tout? Says our producer.
Okay.
Is the name of the movie?
Very similar to Bird on a Wire. You can understand why.
Who is Cletus Tout?
I think that was the one.
Answering the filmic question, who is Cletus Tout? I wonder, did he play Cletus Tout? I wonder.
He did.
He did? Okay, what was this movie about? I'm far more interested in this than any of your major work.
I think we should all go and watch Who is Cletus Tout.
Okay, let's all pause the show. We'll pause it right now. We'll watch Cletus Tout. And then when we come back, we'll have watched Cletus Tout and we'll talk about it. Okay, we'll be right back. Oh my God, that was amazing.
And that Portia, she was, I
couldn't believe it.
Her elocution.
I couldn't believe when they revealed who Cletus Tout was. It was incredible.
I thought it was pronounced Cletus.
Well, yeah, that was one of the biggest reveals, too, was that it was Cletus Tout, and everyone had been mispronouncing his name the entire movie. And then finally at the end, when he reveals who Cletus Tout is...
If they'd gone to Larry Moss, the dialect coach, they would have understood the correct pronunciation.
Exactly.
Wow.
Let's do a little section on this show. It's a new feature on this show. It's something I like to call Chalk Talk.
I'm in.
It's a pleasure to have you. So let's just, this is the part of the show where we just kind of rap about things,
Yeah, I'm ready to talk.
Yeah, it's just Chalk Talk. You know what I mean?
Talking with chalks.
Yeah, sure. Tell us about your new show. It's called Firefly Lane. It's on Netflix. I got sent the trailer and I watched it. I'm telling you every step of this process. And I can't figure out what it's about because it is maybe the most non-specific trailer I've ever seen in my life, where it's you and Katherine Heigl and you are just saying things.
Words.
Words. And they don't seem to have anything to do with any kind of plot.
But how was my elocution?
I could understand every single word.
Yes.
But, and it seems to be in 3 different time periods. And so, which leads me to believe you're time travelers.
Yes.
So tell us how, what is the mechanism for you going back and forth through time? Is it like a sit down time machine, like the H.G. Wells thing? Is it, or Back to the Future more commonly? How exactly do you ping pong back and forth through time during this?
You're correct. It was a machine. You didn't get that from the trailer?
No one ever said the word machine.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to work on that trailer because that should have been clear.
Just put in one shot of you or Katherine Heigl saying, machine!
Machine!
Yes, and we'll get it.
So it's a story of 2 best friends over 30 years. So we play ourselves at 18, 22, and 42. And then 2 other actresses play us at 14. Because I think they thought we could, get into a time machine enough to maybe... There's nothing more humbling than being in a hair and makeup trailer and people trying to be like, okay, how exactly
do we
is there
figure
a way
this?
What if we put tape? What if we tape
in the back of the neck?
There's just a lot of consulting going on and a lot of, efforts.
Well, I would imagine the 18 to 22 jump is not going to be that much different, but the 22 to 42 is just... Yes. So for the 42, I pretty much wore 0 makeup, which I've never done before, and that was interesting and terrifying. So you're 2 best friends. Why would I say 3? That's a weird slip up. Was there another person that you cut out of the project?
Oh, well, there's sort of a love triangle.
Oh,
That's probably why you said 3. Ben Lawson.
Ben Lawson. Who is Ben Lawson?
He's Australian.
That's almost like Bin Laden. Isn't that weird?
It's very close. Very similar. I did accidentally
call him Bin Laden at one point.
Yeah, sometimes Cletus Tout. It's hard to keep track.
At one point, did you turn to him and say, "So what happened when SEAL Team 6 killed you?"
He was so confused. I'd worked with him. I did a pilot with him like 10 years ago. and that did not go. And then we worked together on this. And yeah, so there's sort of a love triangle that takes place over the 30 kind of,
So Firefly Lane, how many episodes are we talking? If I know my Netflix, they usually do 10, do they not?
You've got it, Scott.
So there's 10 episodes. How long do these run? If I had to guess, I'd say anywhere between 25 to 35 minutes.
53?
53 apiece? Wow.
53 apiece. This is going to be a chunk of your day, Scott.
Okay, so this is approximately 530 minutes of your time, which, these days we have nothing but time just to sit down for 530 minutes and watch something. And is this a series, or is it a limited thing where, okay, that's all you're going to do, or are you hoping that it comes back?
I'm very much hoping that it comes back. It ended on a very large cliffhanger. So,
okay.
Yes,
like a Cletus Toot style cliffhanger?
Very much so. I mean, how many of those did they do? I feel like they did like a baker's dozen.
Yeah, 13 at least.
There's 13. So every episode ends on a cliffhanger, and then the season ends on a cliffhanger. And,
whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
So really, I mean, with Netflix, like every episode ends on a cliffhanger, it's not that big of a deal because the next episode is right there. You can just watch the next 5 minutes and then turn it off and go, okay, I see what happened with the cliffhanger. But when a season ends with a cliffhanger, this is like, it's not going to come back for a year.
I know. I hope it does.
Well, this has been Chalk Talk, and so Chalk Talk's going to end right now. So thanks so much for being on.
Thanks for having me. I like the abrupt.
And we're back to Comedy Bang Bang. That was a great little segment of Chalk Talk.
I think I can see that just being its own standalone.
A little spin-off podcast. I don't know whether you're on every week, but if you know anyone else named Chalk, that would be great. We might expand it to people who have worked at Chalk, the hospital, the children's hospital.
Yes.
People have used chalk. Any educators? Any
kids who are outside using sidewalk chalk when we walk by them.
There it is again, outside.
Bring them in.
There it is.
Outside.
Well, Firefly Lane is on. I think we got a pretty good idea of what this thing is about, right? It's out there on Netflix right now. We want everyone to watch it to support the incredible diva known as Sarah Chalk. Her new project, she has just revealed it to the world, and we want to watch all 10 episodes. Even if you're not interested in it, just turn it on and go into another room in your house. Just let it play.
Please.
Exactly. We are going to come right back. Now, Sarah, you can stick around, I hope.
I'm here. I thought we were going to do more. I'd have nothing else
we are going to do more. But what happens is, I know it's been a while since you've worked on commercial TV, but we have these things called commercials where we take little breaks during the show. You have these in Scrubs, I'm pretty sure, where something surprising would happen and everyone would look at each other. Donald Faison would look at you and go, "Oh no!"
And then it was like suddenly, a sad music sting where it was like ba 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 ba.
Exactly, yeah. And then suddenly, people are talking about vacuums and, toilet scrubs and stuff. Or, Scrubs. Is that, did you ever get sponsored by a toilet scrubber? Like, hey, we're a scrubber. This is Scrubs.
Oh, that would have been so great. What a missed opportunity.
Oh, my God.
Our costumer, Carrie Bennett, she made her own line of scrubs, best ever scrubs, which we wore on the show.
Whoa, incredible. There's an incredible detail to get right before a break. And hopefully that's going to take you back to coming back on the other side where we'll get more detail about that. When we come back, we're going to be talking to an entrepreneur. And coming up a little later, we have a person who works at a rescue dog charity. We are going to come right back with more Sarah Chalk, more Comedy Bang Bang after this. Comedy Bang Bang, we're back here, Sarah Chalk, and before the break, we hyped up an incredible tidbit of information about the customer on Scrubs, who has her own line of scrubs. Where can people get this?
I don't know. So that's where my story
All right,
falls flat.
Wonderful.
I'm not sure, but they're so comfortable and fantastic, and you get them in every color of the rainbow.
But we do need to get to our next guest. He's an entrepreneur, and it's a rare episode of Comedy Bang Bang, Sarah, where we have an entrepreneur on. So you must feel very, very pleased to be on one of the magical episodes where we talk to someone about their business. He is the owner, I would imagine, and also the proprietor, I would guess, of Structure a Stuffy. Please welcome Bill Eikenberry.
Scott, thank you for having me. I'm very pleased to be here. And what a wonderful show this is so far. I was listening.
Oh, you were listening.
I was listening. Yes, I was listening as I waited in the green room. And
why are you waiting in the green room? Because we're on a Zoom. You could just. Were you in a different room?
I have a green room in my house, and that's where I do my waiting for things.
Oh, is that where you grow your pot?
I beg your pardon?
Nothing. Maybe you're. If you were growing pot, you probably would. We could have winked and been like, "Yeah, man, 420."
No, I'm in a different business.
You're in a different,
as you alluded to in the introduction that you gave me.
Well, so I didn't just allude to it. I just flat out said it. You are the owner and proprietor of Structure Stuffy. Is that right?
Yes, I am, and I'm proud to do that. It's a business that I started in my home, and now I have a massive factory.
Oh, incredible. By the way, this is Sarah Chalk. Have you ever,
Hello,
are you a fan
Sarah.
of Roseanne or Scrubs or The
Both?
Wrong Missy?
Yes.
Both
I'm
of those?
a fan of all three things.
All three things. You've seen
Yes.
all three of those.
Yes,
Thank you, Bill.
yes.
Are you? I guess I should. I was going to ask
Please.
if this is anything like Build-A-Bear, but I probably shouldn't bring up a competitor. I apologize.
But you know what? That's
I'm so
fine,
sorry.
Sarah. That's fine. It's very much like Build-A-Bear. Structure Stuffy is a business. It's a little more specific than Build-A-Bear because Build-A-Bear. It's for children who want to build a bear. And
I confess that I have heard of Build-A-Bear, and I believe I saw a video of it once, but I'm not remembering exactly.
you believe
how
you saw a video of it once.
I believe that in my heart.
What were the circumstances? Can I ask?
I think I was watching television, and there was perhaps a news piece on it or something like that. For some reason, that's sticking in my head.
Well, I'd love it if the news would report on Structure Stuffy because I think a lot of people would like to know about it. What we do is much like, so Build-A-Bear, Scott, if you're not familiar, if you didn't retain all the details
I did
from
not.
that news report you watched, Build-A-Bear lets children create their own stuffed teddy bear, and they are in control of the details, and they
I see. So they can make the arms really muscular.
That's right. They can, if they want to make a teddy bear that's flat out swole like a Kumail Nanjiani, they can do that. And then, of course, they could take pictures with the bear sitting in front of a plate of a cake with a dozen eggs on top and say "cheat day." But so that's what Build-A-Bear is.
But what are the options you can get? Is it like put a bow tie on him or a top
full
hat?
outfits.
At Build-A-Bear, full outfits. Sarah, you're a mother, so you probably know about Build-A-Bear. You've probably heard of this, right?
I was in New York in January, and I went to my first Build-A-Bear, and my daughter built a bear, and they get to they stand by the machine and they put all the stuffing in, and that's super exciting.
Scott, now do you get it?
I don't know that I would want to see stuffing put into. I don't know that I want to see the process. You know what I mean? It's like,
Well, they don't put organs in. It's really just stuffing, so it's not gruesome to watch.
it's like, okay, I'm
Well,
married,
they do put
right?
a heart in.
They put a heart in. Okay.
Well, you
But-
gotta take a heart and you kiss it and you make a wish. You wish it luck. You put it
that is
inside.
sweet. But I guess what I'm saying is I'm married, but I wouldn't want to watch God creating my wife
But
from
you
the
see
feet
how
up.
it's- you see
You know
how
what I
it's
mean?
different.
Like
You
all the
see how-
sinews
you see
and
how
the
it's different, though.
musculature.
You see how it's different, though.
Maybe.
One time I was at a Build-A-Bear. This is when I was very intrigued by Build-A-Bear, and I didn't know why, because I am my wife and I are child free by choice, my choice, and
just your choice. She wants to have children.
we early on when we got married as part of our vows, we flipped a coin to see if we were going to have kids or not, and I
During
won.
the vows. and how was the honeymoon when she realized that you were not going to have children?
Well, the honeymoon, it was fine. Look, we agreed upon it beforehand.
So she wasn't a sore loser.
My wife Lil, she's wonderful, and she is not a sore loser at all. No,
How many did
she's
she
a great
want?
Gal.
If she won the coin toss.
She wanted to have an army. Are you kidding me? I remember when we were courting, she said, "I want to flood the world with children." And I said, "I don't know if
I could have sex.
I don't
that
know
much.
if I'm on board." Well, I didn't say that.
And what a beautiful name, Lil. Is it short for little?
Yes, it is.
Is she little?
No, she's very tall.
Oh, it's one of those ironic
Lil.
names.
Yes, my wife is 6'4". Well, but her birth name is Little. Because their parents were not very imaginative.
So she came out.
It's like, well, she's little, and that was it. And immediately, it was one of those things where immediately the nurse wrote it down. You've heard these stories where somebody gets an accidental name at the hospital because these nurses, they're so quick on the draw with that.
Oh my God! Anything you say.
No, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. So anyway. So we don't have kids, but I was fascinated by Build-A-Bear because I saw the joy that it gave children when they could put the heart in. One time I did see a little girl who didn't want the heart put in. And they said, okay, now it's time for the heart. And she went, no, I don't like that part.
Interesting. So
she went home with a heartless bear. And she with the look she had on her face, I'd never forget it. She was haunting. Anyway, so I observed this and I thought this gives so much joy. There's got to be a way to give joy to people that don't have kids. And I thought, who beyond children, who are the people that like stuffed animals the most? And I realized it was sanitation workers. Every time you see a trash truck, they have one of those big stuffed animals on the front of their truck. And I thought, these guys, they must want to participate in something like this. So that's what Structure Stuffy does. It gives sanitation workers.
Sanitation workers.
Yes.
I don't know that I've noticed that.
You've never seen on the front of a trash truck a big, dirty, stuffed animal?
You've
never seen this?
Now that you mention it, I guess maybe, once or twice.
Yes,
I've
course.
Seen it.
Of course you have, Scott. Of course you have. And it's a thing that it doesn't register much to you because you're not the sanitation worker. You don't know the love that goes into, those stuffed animals. And so, I realized there's a market here. And so I started out small. We just, as I said, Lil and
In your
I,
home. Yeah.
That's right, in our home. And we dedicated, I think that was the brown room. Every room in our house is a different color.
Do you have like the full Roy G. Biv or?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And beyond. there's so many gradations.
Roy G. Biv and beyond. That would be a great character in something like a Toy Story.
Roy G. Biv and Beyond?
Yes. Or a Bed Bath & Beyond like sister store.
Bed Bath and Beyond. That's what I say every time I enter a Bed Bath and Beyond. And
That's right. It's like you're stepping into the future.
Oh, then I hit them with those coupons, and they don't like to see me.
They don't like it, but those things can't expire, even though they have an expiration date.
And they add up, and I hoard them, Scott. I hoard them for months and months and months.
Which room in your house are those in?
That's in the white and blue room.
Oh, the white and blue room. Wait, did you combine some colors?
Sometimes it depends. Like the Bed Bath & Beyond colors are white and blue. And so we know immediately, like if you walk into the blue room, you might think, are the Bed Bath & Beyond coupons in here? And then it's like, no, they're not, because this is just blue.
Wait, so do all of your possessions are kept in whatever room that color the possession is?
That's exactly right. That's exactly
So
right.
do you have to go to like, what if you need like a saucer? And it's pink. You just go get it from the pink room, and then you got to come back to the kitchen.
Exactly, because we don't have a kitchen because it would have been a riot of color in there because and of course also the metallic paint, because a lot of the things are metallic, and you can't do that because of the Tin Man. He died. The actor who played the Tin Man died because of the paint. And so my wife and I are very safety conscious.
Buddy Ebsen?
Yes, Buddy Ebsen died. Did you hear?
From that paint that he wore decades earlier?
Death. It was a slow death. And he died, I think, in his upper 90s. But he died. He died. There's no way around that. Buddy Ebsen is dead and in the ground.
He is dead AF, is he not?
Yeah.
So you don't have a kitchen. How do you do food?
How do we do food? This is a great question, Sarah. What we do is we order out, and then we eat in the brown room because it comes in a brown bag. And of course, when you take the food out, it's different colors, but it's
a little bit of cheating. But also when it comes out the other end, it's brown as well. So
God, I hope so. if you're lucky.
Sure.
So we started.
So it makes it, not to keep harping on this, but it must make it easy to find things if you can remember what color they are. So like, where did I put my keys?
Keys are gold. Go in the gold room.
You have gold keys.
How many rooms?
Did you win the key to the city, or
gold is a color as well. We started in the brown room, but then we realized that for these sanitation workers, what they really want is bears in different colors that really show the grime. So we moved on to the white room and the pink room, and we have so many the robin's egg room.
You have a lot of rooms. How big is your house?
Oh, in my house there are many mansions, as Scripture tells us. It's a pretty big house. Well, we hired the same contracting firm that did the Winchester Mystery Mansion. So it's in a continual state of build, and it's loud. And we sometimes Lil and I would say, "Did we make a mistake?" And then we think, "No, we didn't make a mistake because we love our lives."
Well, every once in a while, a new color will pop up, and you need to build an addition.
Well, we don't. We build them as needed, so we don't. It's not that Pantone releases some statement and we're like, well, we got to build a room.
But you buy a possession that has a color that you don't have a room for.
That's our workaround, yes. And then we say, well, we need to build a new room for this tchotchke.
Now, this house that you have that is so roomy and so many rooms.
So roomy.
It's not the house that Structure a Stuffy built because you had it and you started in the brown room.
Yeah, so where did your money come from before?
Is it family? Like what? How did this work?
Well, we are. This is embarrassing to say, but we are independently wealthy because of a treasure map.
A treasure map.
We found a treasure map.
Wow.
On our first date. Can you believe it? That's when we knew we're going to get married, because with luck like this.
Yeah. Incredible.
This is incredible. We found a treasure map and we said, okay, well, I guess we're not going to go see Cletus Tout. Let's go.
This is about 20 years ago?
Yeah, this is about 20. We've been married for 20 years.
Got it.
And we said, so let's skip the movie. Let's find this treasure. Got to get that treasure. It's like the meme. Good morning. Let's get that treasure.
So you found this treasure. Two questions about the treasure. First of all, I'm assuming
I'll entertain questions about the treasure all day long.
I'm assuming that you built all of these rooms in your house because you were expecting to have that many kids. Were the coin flip to go the other way?
Here's the thing: is that Lil said, I think we should build a bunch of rooms in case we have a kid. In case we have an army of kids like I want. And I said, I think we should build a bunch of rooms because we can really spread out and we won't be underfoot with each other all the time, And now let me tell you something. It really paid off in this pandemic because we have so much space to stretch out and we're never in each other's business.
I can only assume that you'd go days without seeing her.
No, Scott.
Well, she's so tall. Yeah, you're right.
And all the walls are partitions, so I can always see where she is in the house.
Oh, okay.
And can she see you? Where do you fall in the partition?
Yeah, how tall are you?
I'm 5'10". So
you're a mid-sized king.
I'm a mid-sized king, and I'm just under. I'm just a little bit above the partition, so she can see the top of my head, the crown. She can see the crown of my head, but you got to look because you're not always going to see that right away. And if I'm in the room, if I'm in the blonde room because I have beautiful blonde hair, she's not going to be able to.
It is gorgeous.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
What do you do? What products? Yeah. I mean, is that a straightening
conditioner?
Like that? Or what?
Do you know what I use? Is mane and tail, the horse shampoo, and it's not just for horses; it's also for me. And it makes not just the hair on my head glisten and shine, but also the fine hairs, because I'm blonde. The fine hairs all over my body are also very lustrous.
So you shampoo and conditioner all over your body.
all over my body.
I was going to say you're shirtless right now, and it looked to me as if you shaved your entire body, but that's actually just blonde hair.
I'm not shirtless per se. I'm wearing a tube top. I'll tilt the camera down.
Oh, okay.
So you can see.
Thank you.
But I like people to think I'm nude on a Zoom. So I always wear a tube top to these things.
Thank you. I appreciate
for warmth or for modesty?
Well, just as a reveal. Like I wait until people acknowledge it and I say, I'm not nude, I'm wearing a tube top.
One other question though about the
yes.
treasure. Was this treasure underwater? Or was it below the ground? Where
it was
exactly
It was a land treasure.
It was okay. So I have a friend
yes.
who primarily. I don't know that I would call him a friend necessarily, but we've had a guest on this show who primarily finds treasure underneath the sea, within water, and yours was land-based.
You're describing a guy like Brock Lovett, the famous treasure hunter.
Yeah, you've heard of him.
I've heard of him, of course.
He's been on the show several times.
Obviously, my wife and I became kind of treasure nerds after we found this treasure.
Do all treasure finders stick together? It's kind of like a community, or how does that work?
Well, on the show previously, we've established they'll be on the message boards, and suddenly
constantly on the message boards.
People, there'll be a heading of new treasure is out there.
That's right. Yeah, and we're on those message boards, and since we're land treasure people, we're called dirt kickers. That's what you call land treasure people. And the guys who look for treasure under the sea, they're called wet willies, and there's very few air treasure people.
I would imagine the DB Cooper, maybe it's still floating up there. Like all the dollars they haven't fluttered down to the ground yet.
I think he had them contained. I don't think they gave him the money like in a big pie.
No, but I think
he had to scoop it up with his arms.
I think it was in his backpack, wasn't it? Or maybe I'm just remembering the poster from the movie that came out in 1982.
The poster from
and
the movie.
It had dollar bills fluttering out.
Yes, that's
so there's air treasure hunters. Is there also space treasure hunters? Do you fraternize with them?
I would imagine. Here's the thing. There was, I think a lot of people think there's treasure in the air from the video game Animal Crossing. And they think that there's just balloons floating around there with wrapped gifts, and that no one has found one yet. There's a lot of rumors, but no one's found one yet. So I feel they're called airheads. Those treasure people.
Okay. Did you say wrapped gifts or wrap gifts?
I said wrapped gifts.
Oh, okay. Because
what are you talking
gifts
about?
Well,
wrap gifts would be like a Scrubs hoodie or
like a branded fleece.
Yeah,
right. A travel mug.
Usually they're
the
like
word treasure on it.
Baseball hats with the Oscars on it.
Right. Baseball hats with the Oscars on it.
I'm just talking about my closet.
I do think there are space treasure hunters. I have not seen them on the message boards, but I do remember a television show called Salvage One, and it was about some people who build a homemade rocket so they can go up to the moon and collect all the shit that got left up there, and then they were going to sell it back to the government.
Do you think that's why Elon Musk is going up there? Maybe he's a space treasure hunter?
I can only imagine. Wow. I can only imagine.
Amazing.
Space.
Are there fire treasure hunters as well? I would imagine that's the most dangerous type of
I think it's
treasures.
Here's the thing. Because fire is not a fixed thing, I think the idea that you're going to hide your treasure in a fire
I've seen it in video games.
It creates a logistical nightmare.
Sure.
So, I mean, there could be some, but I haven't come across them yet.
So, Bill, you're treasure nerds. Have you found any other treasure, or was this the only treasure that you found?
No, because that's the map. We found that map, and then mostly we've been looking for the maps to find the treasure because that experience is so fun. And on the message boards, they'll tell you exactly where the treasure is, and it's like, well, okay, but is there a map?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Where did you find the map on your first date?
On the ground.
Really, just laying there? Where? What part of town?
It was downtown.
Were you just being like good Samaritans picking up litter, or were you just like, oh, that's a treasure map?
Well, it was a very windy day, and sometimes the trash will swirl around in the wind, little cyclones of trash, and it's
like that movie American Beauty that came out around 20 years ago.
Yeah, that was our second choice. We were either going to see Cletus Tout or American Beauty.
Two of your favorite actors.
That's right. Christian Slater and
Christmas's own Kevin Spacey.
That's right. He's really co-opted Christmas with his famous Christmas Day messages that everyone loves.
No one else is more associated with Christmas than Santa Claus, other than Santa Claus, I would imagine.
No, it's Kevin Spacey all the way. So this treasure map is like blowing along the block, and you could see that it was different from a block away. Like we saw it coming towards us, and it's got it's all wrinkled. It's got the torn edges.
Sure, the browned edges, intimating that it's old.
Yeah, and it's big. It's like a big piece of trash that's coming at us, and so it blew right up against Lil's shin, and she's got gorgeous legs, of course.
Oh yeah, I would imagine. Are those long? I mean, she's 6'4".
She's got long stems. They go all the way up.
Short torso.
Very short torso.
So a tube top to her would cover her entire.
It's a dress.
Well, yes, exactly. So we buy tube tops. I wear them for this, and she wears them to go out in town. And so I said, this is a treasure map. I think this is a good omen for us. And so we immediately set out to find the treasure. And I think
how far away was it?
It was, let's see, we got to the airport.
Airport. Oh, okay, so this was not local-based treasure.
No. It was in the Caribbean, and we got. I mean, this was an exciting first date, and a
destination date on your first date. That's incredible.
The hardest part was showing up to the airport and pointing to the map and saying, "Do you have tickets for here?" And
well, because you don't want the person at the airport to know where the treasure is either, because I would imagine they would quit their job.
It's true. We were not experienced treasure hunters, and I guess it would have been suspicious if the person at the desk had said, "No, there's no such place," and then immediately left the desk. There's no such place. I have a photographic memory. Yeah, exactly. Screenshots. I mean, 20 years ago, were people doing screenshots?
No, I mean,
you know what I mean?
They didn't even dream of it.
It's like I had a Motorola Razr, I think. So we get there to this island, and we start following the instructions of the map, and taking all the paces and so forth. And finally we got to where the X indicated we should start digging, and we started digging, and we found that treasure.
How far down was it?
It was like 2 feet down. It really wasn't that hard.
Wow.
It was very shallow
to the surface.
I think that because it was an island, I think that it had eroded.
Okay.
And,
how long was it there, do you think, buried?
Probably.
I guess it could have been decades, or it could have been, a couple hours.
I think it was 251 years.
Whoa.
Hours.
Well, since it was so close to the surface.
Hold on a second. If it had been buried for mere hours, how did the map end up where we were?
I'm saying that the person who buried it lets the map out into the wild and knows that, someone's coming.
Okay, so even though we took a plane to get to this place.
It gives him about him or her.
This map
gives
manages
him about 12 hours.
Across an ocean.
Well, yeah, he gets a head start. He lets the map out. Or has an associate do it.
Right.
I saw that in and of itself. Like Derek DeLaGuardia isn't putting the brick out onto the street. What's his name?
Delgadio.
Okay, I apologize.
We're obviously huge magic enthusiasts.
He never said his name in the actual movie. He never came out and said, you know how, I don't know if you know the world of stand-up comedy, but a stand-up comic is supposed to say their name at the beginning of their set and at the end of their set.
What's worse than stand-up comedy?
Yeah, I know. But in any case, so congratulations. I mean, do you still have any of that money, or were you like Jay Leno, never actually living on your treasure money?
We never touch our treasure money.
But I thought that was your startup money for the house, but after that you don't touch it.
That's exactly. We started it up for the house and the business, and then that treasure is back in the chest. And
did you bury the treasure yourself?
In a manner of speaking. I mean, it's in the basement.
And okay. So did you make a map to it?
Yeah. Yeah. We have that map. It's on the fridge.
Oh, it's on the fridge, and it's still there, right? It hasn't blown away and is out there in the wild.
No, that was your scenario.
Well, no, my scenario was someone let the map loose first and then said, I got to go bury that treasure, and got a head start.
So hold on a second. They let the map go first, and then they buried the treasure.
Well, yeah, it's like a fun game.
They're standing at the burial site, and they say, all right, go, map, go. Okay, gotta have real fast.
Well, no, they're standing in whatever city you're at. They let the map go. Then they hop on a plane.
And wouldn't you like to know what city I'm at?
I really, really would, because I would love to find that treasure.
That will remain secret, I'm afraid, but it is a city that has wind.
Chicago?
That's your first clue.
Chicago?
Chicago has wind. Could be.
Okay, all right.
You seem to have quite a disdain for stand-up comics. Is this like a personal experience, or is it like a...
Are you a failed stand-up comic?
No, how dare you? I would never... I wouldn't sully myself. Lil and I once went to see a stand-up comedy show. And this comedian, he saw us in the crowd, and he started mercilessly ripping into us our clothing, how long we'd been together, what we did for a living.
Were you wearing the tube top?
Yes, I was. We were both wearing tube tops. She was wearing a dress. It was summer.
This sounds exactly like what I'm doing. I'm talking to you about your tube top, what you do for a living, your treasure.
But you're not standing on a stage in front of other people and ridiculing us.
Okay, yeah. That's only when we go on tour.
Forget that guy.
Well, I feel like we haven't talked about Structure a Stuffy all that much. We got hung up on the treasure. Is there anything left to say about it?
I just want to say, if you're a sanitation worker and you're looking to brighten your day and have someone to love while you're out on your route, come to Structure a Stuffy. What you can do is you can build your own oversized stuffed animal that will attract all manner of grime. And you get to put the heart in yourself. And the heart, of course, is made of trash.
Wow.
You kiss it.
Wow.
You make a wish.
You have to kiss the trash.
You have to kiss the trash. But it's clean. It's clean trash.
It's clean trash.
Yeah.
And when you say oversized, meaning bigger than a normal stuffed bear or bigger than an actual bear?
What do you think I mean?
I asked the question because I don't know.
I'm going to say that bigger than a normal bear would be an obstacle to driving the truck.
Sure. But these are big trash trucks.
Yes, they are. And bears are big animals.
True. What's bigger, if you had to guess?
A trash truck or a bear?
Sure.
I'm going to say trash truck.
Okay, great. So you still can kind of figure out from your eyes what's bigger.
I'm going to say if a trash truck approached a bear, the bear would say, uh-oh, I got to get out of here. That thing is bigger than me.
Well, wonderful, Bill Eikenberry. Where can people find your stuff?
At the store. Go to the store, and there it is. Structure a Stuffy. We have over 3,000 locations.
Whoa. That's as many miles as it is across this U.S. of A.
Everywhere there's trash, there's a Structure a Stuffy.
Wow.
So when you see your sanitation worker on your street and he's picking up your disgusting cans, make sure you wave and say hello to the Stuffy that's strapped to the front.
And say, Bill Eikenberry sent me.
No, don't say that.
Okay, sure. But you can say anything else.
Just wait.
Just wait.
Say anything else.
But try to remain deadly quiet.
Because it's a bear.
You don't want to awaken the sleeping beast.
If you see one, make yourself appear bigger.
Well, because, if you're seeing a bear too, it could be a real bear and not a stuffed bear. You never know.
But you often know.
Often, but you might mistake it.
Usually the bears, the fake bears are sort of cartoonish in quality. They're not
big
made
eyes
to mimic. Yeah, exactly.
And I guess it depends if it's like from the brown room or if it's like from like Marionberry or taupe, or if it's like a baby pink or soft pink.
Exactly. These are all
it's harder
rooms
to
in my
tell
home.
if it's harder to tell if it's real bear color.
Exactly. Bermuda, peacock. These are blues.
Puce.
Peacock, by the way, streaming now. You can get, I'm sure, the entire 9 or 10 seasons of Scrubs on Peacock, I would imagine. Is that true, Sarah?
I don't know. Bill Eikenberry, are you aware?
I am not aware. Scott, what do you think?
I think it depends on who produced the show. Did NBC own it?
So
there we
ABC
go.
Touchstone owned it. We were on NBC. Then we switched to ABC for the last season.
Oh, God, this is hard to gauge. But
It's
if,
hard
It's
to
not on
gauge.
Peacock then. I bet it's not
I'm
on
guessing, I'm going to say not on Peacock. This is a great new feature for 2021. On Peacock or not?
It airs right after Chalk Talk.
Okay, good.
But if you do want to do the on or off Peacock spinoff, I'd be interested.
Yeah, I would love to have you on as not necessarily a full equal co-host, but
No, of course not. No.
like
I would
sidekick
never. I would
status.
never.
Okay, good.
Sidekick or second Becky, third, fourth.
second banana. Yeah, fourth
Se- you
Becky
know,
would. Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
How liberal is the title Chalk Talk? Because I have chalks that are the kind of they're the wedges you put under airplane wheels. It's not spelled the same way, but it does sound like it.
It sounds a
Come on.
little.
I think he can come on.
You think he can come on? I don't know.
Well, you've got my contact info. So the next episode of Chalk Talk, if you
Oh, that's
can
right. Your address
squeeze
is right
me
down
in-
here.
No. Now hold on a second. That's not my. That's a PO box.
Oh, that's a PO. Are you just saying it's a PO box so I don't show up to your house tonight and try to get that treasure?
It looks like an address.
All right, look, we have to take a break. Speaking of taking things, when we come back, we're going to be talking to the person who works at the Rescue Dog Charity. That's fantastic. So we are going to come right back. We'll be right back with more Sarah Chalk, more Bill Eikenberry. We'll be right back with more Comedy Bang Bang after this. Comedy Bang Bang, we're back here. Sarah Chalk of Firefly Lane, which to me sounds like these two characters live on Firefly Lane. Is that?
I mean, Scott, you are very, very, very bright because
I mean, quite
they do.
honestly, this trailer
what they meant.
left me no clues as to what this show was about. They never mention Firefly Lane, as far as I'm concerned. They don't talk about like, hey, isn't it great to have houses next door to each other on Firefly Lane? It's just like saying random words that don't have anything to do with each other.
They met. They
So
met.
random, not like the specific sentence. Isn't it great to have houses next to each other on Firefly Lane?
Right.
So they actually live on.
Specificity. Got it.
They
Take
live.
notes. Noted.
They live there. You made this trailer? Is that
none
is that
taken,
why
none
you're
taken.
taking notes? None taken. All right. So we also have Bill Eikenberry of Structure of Stuffy. You can go
Hi,
to any one of
everybody.
his 3,000 stores out there, wherever trash is disposed of. And we do need to get to our next guest. Speaking
Can
of
I just
disposing
very
things,
quickly plug my new project, Lightning Bug Lane, which is going to be seen on Amazon?
oh, sure, yeah,
I think you've already pitched Structure of Stuffy, Bill.
you're
That's
just
fair.
a one plug per person kind of.
Well, that's what I was told.
Okay. Is that why you're not plugging Scrubs on Peacock?
That's why I was playing dumb, going, I don't know where it was. Contractually, I thought it was one plug.
I
and
understand.
I would appreciate if he stuck to his Sanitation Bear plug as opposed to encroaching on my Firefly Lane plug with his Lightning Bug plug.
I do apologize. That was rude and ungentlemanly of me.
Well, if you want to, my P.O. box is at the bottom of the screen, so you just ship me a Structure, a Stuffy.
Yeah,
and
we
we're
all put our
cool.
P.O. boxes
you
at
have
the
a
bottom of
trash
our
truck?
screens.
What's that?
Do you have a trash truck?
No redundant questions. Obviously, I have a trash truck. How do you think I get around safely?
I would
Do you know
love
that
to
it's the safest
It's bigger than a
vehicle?
bear.
I would love to send you a complimentary Structure of Stuffy for your trash truck, and I will leave the heart out so you can put it in yourself.
Yeah, don't be putting any of your wishes in my sanitation
I
bag.
would never.
You've never put your wishes in another.
I would hope not.
Okay.
I think that would probably really, interfere with the integrity of your company.
My only wish for all stand-up comedians to die.
Oh, wow.
Every birthday, that's my wish.
It's never come true. Came close with COVID.
It was with COVID.
You must have really felt special on your birthday in
I gotta
2020.
count down all these different stand-up comedians.
All right, we do need to get to our next guest, but I was going to say, speaking of disposing of things, our next guest tries to make sure that we do not dispose of these dogs at her rescue dog charity. Please welcome, first time on the show, Deb Tunt.
Oh, hi. How are you guys doing? It's so good to
doing
be
great.
here. Thank you
Yeah,
so
it's great
much.
to have you.
Thank you. And I'm loving this. And I got to say, Sarah, I loved the Scrubs, and I thought you and Dax Shepard were so good together on that show, and I loved it. And it really is it's an honor.
Oh, yeah. Dax and I had a great time. He's really funny, fun in person, bright.
I bet.
He's a great guy to work with, isn't he?
Yeah. I'd plug his podcast, but we're down to one plug.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Only one plug.
and by the way, I'm not letting anyone plug any other podcasts on this show anymore because I talked about it last week. I have Conan O'Brien on to plug his show. Suddenly, like, his show's more popular than my show. I give him the old CBB bump, and so no more.
That's
No
inappropriate.
CBB bumps for Dak Shepard.
Nope,
Okay.
not for his,
Okay.
not
but
for
his
not for his
podcast is fantastic, Scott. I mean, have you listened?
No, I know. He's incredible. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
I mean, everyone, of course, should listen to it. Deb Tunt, you work at a rescue dog charity.
I do. Yeah, I work at Tunts Runts, and what we do here is we take rescue.
Is that
dogs.
named after yourself, by the way?
Yes, my last name is Tunt.
Oh, I know. I just wondered if it was already named that, and then you started working there.
Could you imagine the world where that coincidence would have happened? But no, that was me. Tunt is my maiden. I didn't take my husband's name.
Oh, why? What's his name?
Dianetics is his last name.
Oh, I can understand.
Yeah. So I stuck with Tunt. Yeah. But yeah, so we have Tunts Runts, and we're up in Sawyer, Michigan, and we have.
It's nice up there.
It is nice. I do love it. I love Michigan.
You gotta love where you live, otherwise move.
Oh, needlepoint that on a pillow. I'm serious. But I will say, we have open land, which is nice, and all these dogs would wander onto our property, and they were half dead or real
Half alive, you could look at it like that.
And I'm loving this. I'm really loving this attitude, because really that's what we got to go into in 2021 and beyond. So they are half alive when they come on. That's the truth. And
Wonderful.
and so Cal and I decided, what if we
Who's Cal is Cal
Dianetics.
Cal
Cal
Dianetics?
Dianetics, that's my husband. Yeah.
What does he do?
We're both full time with the rescue.
Oh, okay.
And he put
Is he from where does he get his family name? Is he related to L. Ron Hubbard at all? Or
Yeah, what ethnicity is he? That what you're asking?
he's Greek.
No, not
He's a
necessarily
Greek.
that.
He's Greek. Yeah.
Oh, he's Greek. Oh,
Yes.
okay, wonderful. Okay,
it's
so
a
it's
pretty-
probably
pretty-
it's spelled differently than the famous book. It's like D.
It's spelled with a bunch of Y's and
Ks.
and yes, yeah. So
Right.
so no, he's Greek, and so we decided. What if we created an official place for these rescue dogs? And one of the things that I love.
So it was an unofficial place. They were just hanging out at your house in this
Yeah,
open
they would
land.
wander onto our property, half alive, and
Right.
we decided we're just going to keep them.
So now they wander into the store instead.
Oh, well, I hesitate to use the word store, because what you're implying is that you could purchase a dog. And I just feel that anyone who purchases a dog instead of rescues a dog is a monster. And it really, because there's just
Why
too
is
many.
that? I mean,
Because there's too many, and you're playing God. You're playing God by saying this is the type of dog I want. And
because you can't really own a living being, can you?
I agree. Except for fish. I do think you can own a fish.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. Snakes?
Yes. I wouldn't advise it. We do have a lot of snakes on the property, and in fact, a lot of the half alive dogs were the victims of snake attacks. Snake attacks.
How many snakes are on your property? I mean, do you live on a snake farm?
Sometimes I
or-
look out there and I'm thinking, is that Medusa's head or is that our backyard? Because
Well, if
it
you're
is
not
rough.
stoned at the end of that look, then it's probably your backyard.
Oh, I am always so impressed with how educated you are, Scott. I mean it.
Thank you so much. I have approximately a senior in high school education.
Well, that is
I
fantastic.
say approximately because I don't believe I was supposed to graduate, but I sort of finagled my way through it.
Well, you did. And you know how I look at that? I say, you have a quarter of a PhD then.
Thank you so much. See, I mean, I love the optimism on this show for 2021.
You gotta be positive for 2021. Yeah,
That's right.
So we started Tunts Runts, and what we've done is none of our dogs are fixed, and so we
they when they wander into the place, they're full on. They got all the parts.
Yeah, they do, and we don't think it is our job to decide what the dog's choice would be. So they are
Right.
not fixed. And
Are there any of those dogs who can do the tricks like, where you do math tricks and they pound the floor? I guess that's a horse, but there are dogs who do those kind of tricks who you could ask them, hey, do you want to have your penis chopped off? And they like pound the floor a couple of times.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's if I may,
Yeah.
Sorry, Deb.
Yes, no, please.
I don't think they chop the penis off the dog.
Oh, wait,
Well-
is the other stuff?
It depends
The
on what
other
vet you
stuff.
go to, honestly. We've seen some pretty gruesome. It's one
This
of
is
the
like
reasons.
choosing what vaccine you get. You know, are you going to get the Moderna? Are you going to get the Johnson & Johnson?
Right.
It's like an either or.
What are you going to have chopped
Right.
off?
Yeah.
Or you could just let your immune system do what it's supposed to do. But one of
Oh,
the
I don't-
things
okay.
that
I didn't realize.
one of the things that
Oh, Miss Tunt.
I don't know. Wait, who booked Miss Tunt?
I say Mrs. Tunt, even though it is my maiden name. I do
Oh,
go
okay,
by
Mrs.
Mrs. Tunt.
All right, I
Mrs.
apologize.
Tunt.
Who booked Mrs. Tunt?
But yeah, so we don't think that that's our choice. So our dogs, it's wonderful because a rescue dog is the best breed, and so we don't like to say we breed our rescues, but we do love that breed will breed for us.
I see. So you're
Can
making
I ask,
new.
sorry.
Yeah.
May I ask a question?
Oh, you don't even have to say, may I ask the question? You could just ask the question.
Thank you, Mrs. Tunt. Mrs.
Yes.
Tunt, have you considered the slogan,
Yes.
a rescue dog is the bescue dog?
Honestly, I will cash app you whatever you want for that.
No,
'cause
no,
that
please.
is
That's my gift to
honestly-
you.
Well, also,
Consider
he's
it
independently-
a
Yes.
treasure that's been unburied.
Oh,
No
I love
map
it because
required.
a lot of the
None
dogs we
taken.
get were buried when we find them. So
Oh, really?
yes, we do have to unbury a lot of the dogs. They're in a rough condition. So I'm
Wait, so
loving
someone's
that.
burying the dogs half alive?
Yes, people are really,
snakes?
really. A lot of times they're covered in snakes. That's right, Sarah. Sometimes they're in what we call in Michigan a snake grave, but that's just Michigan. I don't know, but
Yeah, I don't know that we have those out here in California.
know. I don't
Or
know
up there
where
in
I am.
D.C.
Or
I don't
where I
know.
am.
Yes, I think I know where you are. I think you're in Missouri.
Don't say it.
I notice your accent. That's Missouri. But anywho, we really have found a purpose by doing this. And, you touched on it earlier, Scott, that
good.
in COVID, a lot of people are lonely. They're real lonely. And I think if you can adopt a dog, we also don't necessarily like to say adopt. We like to say embrace a dog because adopt implies, again, some sort of ownership.
Some sort of, like a hierarchy within the family.
Absolutely. Hierarchy is a great word for it.
Thank you.
Yes. And so,
None taken.
I don't follow that, but, so we encourage you to, instead of going out there and raising a ruckus, just embrace the dog.
So
into
don't
your
raise
life.
a ruckus. Give us a few buckus. That's another great.
I encourage you not to exchange money for a dog. We don't, because again, that.
Okay, so all these dogs are free.
If you
and-
come to Tunts Runts, you don't have to have credit card ID or hell, even a shirt.
It's just cash. I'm just curious, Mrs. Tunt, because you're breeding them and you're also.
We're not breeding them. We're
You're not breeding.
You're letting them.
You're letting them breed
nature take its course.
The
Yes.
rescue.
Like the immune
rescue. The rescue.
just
the
like
rescue.
your immune system, we're letting them do what God intended us to do.
Sure. Wait, did God intend us to have sex?
Yes, but only for procreation purposes.
I think God is fine with us having sex because it's necessary, but I don't think He wants us to. Right? I mean, don't you think it's kind of dirty and it's a sin?
I think some people do it in a way that it is, yes. But I think
Which people?
Me and my wife.
Oh, yeah.
so
I
you and
worry
Lil?
I worry about you and Lil because you're. It seems like you have an active life without the process of procreation. So I worry about it, but I don't judge. Because that's judging is for God and for the folks on The Voice. I do love The Voice as well.
I love it because they don't know what the singers look like
Isn't
until
that
they
fantastic?
push their button and they turn
And
around.
that actually inspired us. We do a voice-like system as far as getting people to embrace the dogs. So
Really?
they listen to the dog and they smell the dog, but they don't see the dog. And so then they say,
So they use 4 of the 5 senses. They use listening.
Yes.
They use smelling.
and they
Are they allowed to touch?
There, you cannot. It's voice.
Cannot
rules.
touch. Okay, so 3. So
it's-
what's the other one?
No touching.
It's just listening and smelling. It's voice rules.
So just
And do
two
you
of the
have the
five.
special chairs, like the actual voice chairs for them to sit in? And
It's funny. We do not have the actual ones, but we do have, they're neat. They're Adirondacks that we put little wheels on. Well, Cal did it. I can't do it, but, we put little wheels on them. And so when they say, "That's my dog," and they spin around and that's their dog, and it's beautiful.
Wow. Are they ever disappointed like Kelly Clarkson or I love Blake and Adam's relationship. It's so funny.
I'm telling you, and I don't think it's put on, and that's why I like it.
That's
I
what's
think
so
it's
funny
genuine.
about it is like you can tell they really love each other, but
I
they're
know
also
it.
giving each other some crap.
There's some razzing, and I love that.
Yeah.
and
It's
Close
so
to
funny.
stand-up comedy for me.
you know,
You wish they would die as well?
I agree.
They're on the
I've-
line.
I've never liked stand up. I do like
Thank you.
Jeff Dunham. I think I do like a puppet.
That doesn't qualify as stand up. I agree.
Yeah, it's not. It's more storytelling.
And look, I think that's fine because Jeff is making fun of. He's got a puppet making fun of him, and it's not a real person. He's making fun of himself. That's fine.
I agree. I think you got to be able to.
That reminds me, like, it would be fun to see a stand-up comedian rather, who is out there and they've hired someone to make fun of them, and that's the act. Someone in the crowd. Someone like you Bill.
Oh, Bill, I'm serious. That would be a hoot.
Hold on a second. So let me
So
see if I
instead of
understand
doing
the
an
scenario.
act, they
Right?
stand up there on stage, and they've hired you to sit out there in the crowd, and you just make fun of them, their entire
Say,
spot.
look at your shirt. It's stupid.
Oh,
Things like that?
That cuts to the quick.
so, Bill, would you be okay with that? Like, would you be okay with that idea?
Yeah,
of
is
stand up.
that-
Like, if in
I
the
mean-
audience like that, what do you think of that?
What is the stand-up doing while I'm doing that?
just
I
sitting
think
there and
just
taking it.
enduring it.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
not giving it to you back
Then-
like
then-
an Adam or a Blake.
Then yes.
It feels like a bit of a double standard.
Yes, but I will say, if I could direct you, there is a dog stand up out there.
Who's this?
His name is Crank Fido, and I'm telling you, he is so funny. I don't know if you ever see him, and it's a lot of looks. Do you like when stand-ups do like a they do
like a Steve
Yeah.
Harvey.
like a Steve Harvey or
A lot of reaction shots.
and it is so funny because with a look, he's funnier than a lot of these comedians out there today. I
So
mean
Crank
it.
Fido,
Did this dog also issue a long memo that said, "Don't
Don't-
look at me, speak to me.
don't come into my office.
I will have my security detail remove you."
Yes, but he has to for his safety.
Yeah,
Well, he's
Really?
just a dog.
He's
Crank
just-
Fido, by the way, has a first and last name. A lot of dogs don't have those.
I know, but they should because that would give them.
It's an easier way to identify them.
I agree because a lot of dogs have the same name, and I don't think that's fair.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so people come into your. It's not a store, but people come into your
No.
establishment.
Yes, and we do. We ask them what they're looking for, and we
Right.
do like sort of a voice style interview.
Voice style. They turn around. Are they disappointed sometimes when they see the dog?
I don't see how you could be.
yeah.
I could see turning around and being disappointed in a human, but I don't see how you could turn around and be disappointed in a dog.
That's a great point. Sarah, do you have pets?
Oh, I love this.
I do. Sadie, come here.
Oh, Sadie.
Sadie.
Comes the pet.
Is Sadie one of your children? You're asking Sadie to go get the pets?
Yeah, that's right. I just
Oh my god! Oh boy!
Now that's an angel from heaven who deserves to walk by the hands of God more than most of us humans. I mean it.
Well, Mrs. Tunt, I have only you to thank. I mean, I never thought when I walked in there that day and my chair spun around that I'd be looking to the eyes of this
Sarah,
angel.
you went to Tunts
Sarah
once?
and I have known each other for years.
Oh, what a reveal!
Well,
Oh
we
my
didn't
god!
want
This is the biggest reveal in Comedy Bang Bang history.
But you told us we weren't allowed to plug, so we says we're not going to plug. So
Well, you can plug the fact that you know each other. That's
We
not
can
really
I
plug
didn't
a
know.
plug.
I thought we signed a.
We
I didn't
didn't
know.
know.
But Cal,
I mean-
Cal and I had met.
Yes.
I mean, we had
Oh.
dated long ago.
Yes.
Oh, really?
In the
it's
90s.
all right. You had a little bit of a flingy ding, and that's all right.
Wait, you had a fling with Cal Dianetics?
We did. It was in It was in the 90s.
Yes.
Oh
And-
yeah,
and
back
I-
when
I
people were
will-
dating Greek people.
Exciting.
Greeks
That's
were
right,
very
because of
big.
My
Greeks-
Big Fat Greek wedding.
Yes.
Everyone was great for Greek people.
I'm telling you, That
It was
movie's
the
a
time.
riot. But I am always grateful for Sarah because she taught Cal, I think, how to love and trust, even though it didn't work out. And then I got, you know how you
The benefit.
like. Sometimes you rescue a dog and it has real bad behavioral problems, and then you work with it, and then it goes to another home, and you're so happy that they got the best version of that dog. I feel like Sarah did that for me with Cal.
Wow.
And I feel like you know, it was like, I know that there is really no, payment in your thing, in your
Oh, no.
establishment, Mrs. Tunt, but it was like you repaying me for what all of the trust that I
Right.
instilled in Cal, and
Well,
then you give
Sadie
me
is
Sadie.
an angel. And the thing
Yeah.
I loved about Sadie always was she had a strong musk to her. And
Really?
I think
So you smelled Sadie first.
Yes, yeah, I was in my Adirondack, and
yes.
I was just taking in all the scents, and it's an interesting experience because as Mrs. Tunt brings in multiple dogs, you have to really trust your sense of smell to distinguish between all of
Right.
the dogs that are kind of running around you. You know, you've got your
Yes.
blindfolded, so
Yes.
Oh, I
it's
did.
not-
That's part of the process.
well,
the
sometimes
blindfolds?
the dogs actually spin around the whole chair. So there's
Oh, I see.
obviously
So they don't blindfold the people on The Voice because it's not often that the contestants will like run around the chair and say, "Hey, look at me."
Yeah, we have to do our own little spin on it, literally.
Right. So
I
why
don't know.
why the spinning if the blindfolds are already there? It seems like you could eliminate that part of the process.
it wouldn't be that voicey then.
Yeah, then it's American Idol.
Yeah, that's a good point. But
And I-
blindfolded American Idol. Although that gives me a great idea.
Oh, is it to put blindfolds on the judges on American?
Oh no! It's just it's for something I'm going to eat later.
Oh, all right.
So wow. So you, Sarah, you gave Deb a husband, and Deb, you gave Sarah her dog. I mean,
And I'm
wouldn't-
going to say, I think Sarah got the better end of that. And I'm just saying it, and it's not. It's no offense against Cal. I mean it, but yeah, but she.
is there
she-
trouble in paradise over there with Cal and you?
No, I mean he's still recovering, but
Recovering from what?
well, he was hit by a bus, and
Oh no!
A
But
bus, right?
it was not a trash truck. But I
thank
will
heavens.
say there was a large stuffed animal on the front of the bus, and I'm wondering if that was
On a
one of yours.
bus?
Yes, it was a Sawyer, Michigan public bus. And
That's
the
not
reason-
supposed to
Like
happen.
hearing that.
Was this
I
bear
don't like-
bigger than an actual bear and obscuring the bus driver's line of sight?
And that's why I wonder if it was the knockoff because it was so big. So I'm wondering if your stuffies are getting ripped off.
There
you know?
there are people who try to knock them off and try to duplicate what we
Yeah.
do, but the craftsmanship is totally different. You can tell. A lot of times
Right.
they look too
they
much
don't
like
have
a
the
real
heart.
bear, and they don't
Right.
have a trash heart that has
Thank
been
you.
kissed and wished upon.
Well,
Yes.
I can only imagine that being on the front of the bus maybe cushioned the blow a little bit. I mean, maybe it saved his life.
In a way, it did, but it really he lost.
In
he
what
had-
way did it not?
Well, because he did lose. He lost a hand.
Oh no, his or someone else's?
It was his, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
Yes, he lost a hand. It was his dominant hand.
Which
So,
one? The left?
Yeah, he was left-handed, like a lot of creative types are. And
Christian Slater, from what I hear, is left-handed, and that's he has to. Anytime he's in a movie, he has to train his right hand in order because most people are right-handed.
Oh, I wonder if that's what he did for the Untamed Heart. That's one of my favorite movies. Where he
yeah.
It
gets,
is the heart from the baboon.
and I think
Yeah.
that more
Did they
people.
kiss that and make a wish on Christian Slater when they put that in?
The heart. I think Marissa Tomei kissed it and put it in him. Yeah.
I think that is where the practice came from with Build-A-Bear, was from actual
Yeah.
heart transplants, where the surgeon will kiss the heart,
Yes. Make a wish.
put it in there. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're
So-
saying Cal is a creative type, obviously, left-handed.
Oh,
A handless.
Do you want to reveal? Why don't you tell them? You tell them. What.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
tell
Oh,
them.
you
Can I ask,
know? Yeah.
Mrs. Tunt, can I ask, does Cal have, as a lefty, does he have one of those left-handed mugs, which are specially designed so that a left-hander finally can
Yes.
drink and look at the logo on the mug?
I know it.
Which is denied so many left-handed people.
I know
Yeah.
it, and I will say that was something he struggled with until he lost the left hand. So we do have a lot of left-handed mugs that are not getting a lot of use. So
Right. Wow. So,
yeah.
but to Sarah's point, he's creative. What does he actually do?
he makes watercolors.
He makes the paint. Does he paint with them? Wow.
Yeah. He makes them because then our dogs paint with them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is exciting for you, Bill Eikenberry, I would imagine, because
It's very exciting. Are you kidding me?
That's what
New
I was
colors.
saying. And he actually does a Bed Bath & Beyond color that is a mix of white and blue.
So light blue.
So it's like a light blue. And I don't
a
know
lot
if
of colors are a mix of white and the color.
sometimes, yeah, but
It's
yes,
the ratio that he gets it.
yes, and he makes watercolors and they're safe for dogs.
Oh, safe for them to not make a mess, or safe for them to eat them.
Dogs like to paint with their tongues, so they're safe. With
Oh,
that.
got it. Say they're edible paint.
Yeah.
So will they go over to Bill Eikenberry's house and you could have the dogs just paint it?
I
Paint the
would
next
Just
one?
lick
love.
away.
I would
If
love
they
to
can
come
find
down.
it.
I would love to come down to Hamilton, Missouri, and
Cold.
okay, well,
Cold.
it is cold there. I don't know.
Oh yeah, is that just you saying cold? It's cold.
I don't know.
We're having fun.
I don't know.
We are having fun.
This is fun.
So poor Bill, he's recovering.
Cal.
Cal.
I'm so, you're well.
And I'm fine.
You're okay. Okay, but poor Cal, he's recovering. Did they sew up the end of his stump, or is everything?
They gave him a paw.
They gave him a paw. Oh my God! Speaking of adopting, they gave him a paw.
And it is a dream. It is a dream, and he is kinder, and
Aw.
yeah.
Can he run faster?
Well, he can run on 4 legs now because of the paw.
Wow.
Yeah, and he.
Can I ask you?
Oh, you can call me Deb. I think we're past.
Oh, I
Mrs.
couldn't. I'm a
Chun.
married man.
Oh,
Mrs. Dunn. Mrs. Dunn.
I see sparks between you guys, but
Where did the paw come from that he got?
it was one of our dog
oh no, had the snakes been hoarding it?
we found it, and we says we're going to use this. We're going to use this in a good way to honor our dog Eric.
I mean, it had to have been pretty fresh, the paw, in order for it to be a successful graft onto a
Yeah.
human stump.
Yeah, although we have some crazy good doctors out here in Michigan. You don't get a lot of
better than the normal doctors, so they're able to attach something that's even a few weeks or a few
Michigan
months old.
is the number one interspecies limb surgeon.
Wow.
Surgery place. Surgeon.
Well, I'll have to go there if I ever, if I ever
Well,
get my
it's-
penis chopped off and I want it to be replaced with,
a dog's penis.
a dog or maybe
You want to
something
get that
bigger.
lipstick surgery?
Oh, we worry about.
But they don't do.
using-
Mrs. Tunt doesn't do that, so she's not going to have product for you.
That's the thing. Yeah, we wouldn't.
Okay, sure.
But if it was the natural passing, I suppose yes. But
So is he not able to open doors anymore? Does he kind of jump up on a door and so you have to open it for
He
him?
will tell me when he has to go out or run an errand or things like
Because
that.
he refuses to use his human right hand.
Well, I told you he
For
was
his voice.
left-handed. He was left-handed.
He just doesn't know how to do it. Yeah.
And he's soft-spoken. You know that, Sarah. He's soft-spoken. So
How
so he-
soft?
He
Barely
had-
audible.
He's a real, just like a quiet guy.
I can only imagine, Sarah, this would have been one of the problems. Or is this what you taught him how to do because he was so loud when he was with you?
Yes. Correct. The latter.
Oh, okay. So he was over enunciating, like he went to, what's his name?
Larry Boss, the dialect
Larry
coach. not the
Boss.
acting coach.
But that's who he wanted. He went to the right. It was funny because he says,
He went to the acting coach
sent him there.
instead?
I sent him to the dialect coach. That's what he wanted. That was what we were going for.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah. So he uses the paw to communicate, which is lovely.
Wow. Well, this is an incredible story. I don't know that we got too much information about your actual establishment. It's not a store, but it's a place.
You understand, Scott, that you're in control of the questions.
I guess, but sometimes I get just sidetracked by all these
sometimes
interesting details about a person's life. Look, this is the show where we talk to interesting people.
It is true. But Bill, what you just did there, you could do to a stand-up.
Yeah,
right.
You did it.
You could be a heckler.
Tear them apart.
Why don't you go to your local stand-up comedy improv or whatever it is, and shout at the comedians?
I'd love to go to New York City, go to that Comedy Cellar, and go to that one table where they all sit around and just rip into all of them and make them cry.
And just pull the stuffing out of them. Just pull their stuffing out of them. Such an interesting dichotomy of such a big heart wanting to create so much joy for these sanitation workers and then wanting to bring so much pain to these stand-up comedians.
It's the yin and the yang. I love sanitation workers. I despise stand-up comedians.
We have
and everyone else is like flatline. You're okay with them?
Yeah.
We have 2 pugs named Yin and Yang.
Oh, really? Congratulations.
Is one black and one white? God, I hope so.
They're both, they're black and white, both of them.
Oh, all
right.
Okay.
And
I will say, I just want to I don't know if you do a shout out. But,
we could do a shout out. Yeah,
we'll kind of like a plug, Deb.
Well, we'll do plugs in a second.
There's a fine line between plugs and shout outs.
Shout outs. I don't know.
So I've been doing morning pages, and one of the things that they said was it's okay to talk about you. So I'd like to give a little shout out to myself. And today is my birthday.
Happy birthday! Mrs. Son, happy birthday!
Thank you so much.
Happy birthday!
Oh no! Don't!
No, you don't like this?
One of our dogs. No.
Oh,
Norman,
that'll wake the dogs?
No, Norman he'll have a rage fit. He hates that song.
What's his last name?
Norman's last name? Reedus.
Norman Reedus.
Because when we found him, he was The Walking Dead. He was The Walking Dead.
Or The Walking Alive. You could look at it
but
like
now
that.
it's The Walking Alive. But he was
spin.
he was abused by a birthday clown. So that
so
it's just
terrible.
that song.
They shouldn't allow birthday clowns to have pets.
Yeah, and we did put something into the legislature about that. Yes.
Good.
Yes.
I'm glad.
Just anniversary clowns.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that. But yeah, I had to just say it is my birthday. I'm double nickels. I'm proud of it. And
congratulations. Double nickels you're 55.
Yes, sir. And I just wanted to get that out there. So.
Congratulations.
You look terrific.
You did it.
Oh, well, I think it's because I'm doing what I love. I really do.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
Wonderful.
I find a treasure in the ground every day, and it's those dogs.
Wow.
Ooh, I got so excited for a second.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But, we all have different definitions of treasure, so.
We certainly do.
That's too bad, but it's true.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because you've told us where you live, and I would have been hopping on a plane immediately. But speaking of other definitions of treasure, we only have one final bit of treasure on this show, and it's a little feature that we like to call plugs.
I want a real job, an honest living, that's all I want.
I don't want a real job. I just want to sit on my ass and smoke.
I want to work. Outside or inside, I don't care, I just want to do work.
I want to watch porn and jack off and smoke and also eat. I don't want a real job.
Wow, okay. What is that feeling when you don't like the first half of something and you love the second half of something?
Oh, that's the Titanic effect.
Oh, yeah. That would be like looking at Lil, I would imagine, if I were to look her up and down. Those long legs
what
and
do you-
that stumpy torso.
This is
Nothing wrong with a short
stand-up.
torso.
Nothing wrong
Scott.
with a short torso.
I apologize. I apologize to our short-torsoed listeners out there.
She's a short torso queen.
That was Plug My Resume by Mannheim Cream Troller. So thanks to them. Thanks to them. And if you want to hear your plugs theme played, go put it wherever we get them. I don't know where that is.
like that song. I liked it. It was fun at the beginning. The guys are opposites. And then at the end, it's Phantom of the Opera.
It surely was. Do you like musicals? You don't like going to stand-up comedians, but
I
do you like...
love musicals because no one talks to you. I don't like when I don't like it in a play, any kind of play, musical or otherwise, where they look out at the audience and start talking.
So you hate Hamilton then?
Well, I didn't feel like Hamilton was addressing me per se.
You personally. It was, do you like it when it's like addressing the entirety of the audience?
When they're just sort of talking out loud, that's one thing. But
1776.
when it's second person, they're saying you. I know what you're thinking. What? You don't know what I'm thinking. How dare you?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Getting to know what Bill Eikenberry likes and dislikes.
I don't like when there's a trailer for a movie and there's a record scratch and somebody says,
"Yes,
that's
yes,
me."
that's me.
That means you know that I'm watching you. I don't like it.
You like to be sitting there in the shadows watching them like a perv.
I look in the shadows.
Well, what are we plugging? This is the time, and look, all bets are off, Sarah. So at this point, you can plug anything you want. We
How
don't
about
have
my
to.
short torso, Scott?
Hey, if you want to plug your short torso,
I might have a short torso. I'm just saying, I have extremely long arms. They're too long for my body.
They're longer than this. Zoom is wide.
They're longer. You're supposed to have your height and your wingspan is supposed to be the same. But
Oh,
I'm
is that
5'8"
true?
and my wingspan is 6 feet.
Interesting.
So it's hard to buy jackets.
Yeah.
I don't have that
well,
problem. I think I can
Is
do that
very-
too.
Sarah is turning around right now and hugging herself like she's
It's
another
like
human being.
a Ralph mouth.
It's one of my party tricks. So
I would
long
love to go
arms.
to a party with you.
you're welcome. I mean,
I would love to trick you.
come over. I've had anyone over in a year. I'm ready.
You're ready, really. I haven't had the vaccine yet. But you're ready for me to come over.
Close enough. Everybody, let's have a party.
Everyone over to Sarah's. But obviously, Firefly Lane is out there on Netflix, and all 10 episodes are available, and 530 minutes of viewing pleasure out there. Anything else you want to say about that particular project?
Just watch it all 530 minutes. Don't stop at 529 because you'll miss the cliffhanger.
I can't
Please
wait,
don't.
Sarah. And we got our HughesNet fired up, ready to go.
Mrs. Tunt, nothing will make me happier than
I
visualizing
cannot wait.
you and Cal snuggled up. You just get a glass of wine or whatever you prefer. You brew up your hot tea.
Yeah, we get a hot tea, and he's been drinking out of a bowl actually lately, but that's fine.
Oh, there's nothing better than a bowl of hot tea because the tea, it's too small in the mug.
agree.
So if you have the bowl,
I agree.
otherwise you have to keep going back to the kettle.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you have a problem with people being too small in the mug, Scott? I know you don't like short torsos.
Okay, look, don't tar me with this brush. Our short-torsoed friends out there, everyone welcome here. I apologize, Sarah, look, quite honestly, your torso looks bigger on TV. I have to say.
I know that's a common thing I've been told.
Look at that long torso. People
yeah.
are always saying that
Yeah.
about a Sarah Chalk product.
Yeah,
The
and then I meet
camera
them in
adds-
person on the street, and they're like, "Your torso is so much shorter in
Camera
person."
adds 3 inches.
Anything else you have to plug out there? Anything coming up in the or up or down in the pipeline, whichever way it flows?
Up or down the pipe. We're about to record next season of Rick and Morty.
Oh, that's right, Rick and Morty. I haven't even mentioned that. And by the way, we mentioned this a few months back. Rick and Morty. Maybe this was on our sister show, You Talking Heads to My Talking Head. Rick and Morty. Is it a parody of Brick and Mortar?
Yes,
Okay, I thought so.
it's not.
Sarah, can I ask any more episodes of The Boo in the works?
It's interesting that you bring that up, Bill. No, unfortunately not.
Is it because everyone, when they watched that, they were booing, thinking that was what they were supposed to do? Much like when you see Bruce Springsteen, and I was so confused when I saw it.
Yeah, it was confusing. The Boo was the very talented Lonely Island crew, and it was, I don't know, circa 2000.
For Channel 101, was it?
For Channel 101.
That's correct.
Yes, and so I met them because one of my good friends was dating one of their good friends, and they said, "Do you want to come do the Boo with us?" And I said, "Yes, please." And then if I was shooting Scrubs that week when they're so talented and their show kept getting voted back in. And then if I was shooting that day, then their friend Chester would play me, or sometimes a Muppet. And then on days that I could, I did. And I just loved it and loved them.
I remember one time they didn't do a new episode at all, and they just filmed themselves singing, "We didn't do the Boo this week. We didn't do the Boo." And it's been stuck in my head for however many years that's been.
Oh my God, they're so funny. And speaking of Andy Samberg and plugs, so my son is 11, so we've just been watching all of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I'm obsessed. They're so funny.
You may
so
get
great.
to a particular episode with a hacker who was apparently so incredible on the screen that they thought there was no way they weren't going to bring him back for the season premiere of the next season, and then suddenly he never got a call again.
Oh, I hope it's Dax Shepard.
It probably is.
You also may get to an episode where you see a certain cruise ship captain who was obviously never going to appear again and didn't.
Well, it's a landlocked show for the most part.
Oh, I hope that's Tim Allen.
So, Bill Eikenberry, anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I'd like to plug some podcasts that I listen to.
Sure.
One is called Stay F. Homekins. It's this guy and this woman, and they're a married couple, and they do this podcast where they just talk.
Oh, thank God. They're married. I hate it when a guy and a woman do a podcast together and they're not married. It always brings up these
Well, what's the point? You know what I mean?
If you're not doing a podcast in order to get married, why are you doing it?
Here's my thing: is we're sexual beings. We're not meant to be just pals.
You are horny, Bill.
It's because he's looking at Lil's head out of the partition, and she's just going back and forth. Like, Bill, when are you done?
She drives me wild. I love my wife.
Those gams.
You love
I
your
love my
curvy tall wife.
short-torsoed wife. When I was in high school, other guys used to make fun of me who had a shorter torso. So that's one, and then there's another one called The Neighborhood Listen, which is that's two other. That I like that one, even though the people that do it are not. It's a guy and a girl, but they're not married, and they are playing characters who aren't married. That one slips through the cracks for me, and I still enjoy it.
Yeah. What about there's a show called Threedom where three people were not married to each other.
Three people.
Yeah. It's like a throuple who are unmarried.
I don't follow at all.
Yeah. It's gross. But it's, if people.
How does it even work?
I don't know, but it's with Paul F. Tompkins, myself, and Lauren Lapkus. And if people like the episodes that we had recently of the best ofs of Comedy Bang Bang, where Paul F. Tompkins and I just chatted in between the clips, they would probably like Threedom. So they should, and that comes out every Thursday.
I like that we seamlessly transitioned into your plugs.
I thought you would be into this show.
I don't know. I thought it was my time to talk, and then
Take a little extra time. I'll give you 15 extra seconds.
All right. I'd also like to plug.
Oh, yeah. See, it's not so easy, is it?
Structure bear?
Now I understand why stand-up comedians are the way they are.
Oh, you finally have empathy.
I retract everything that I say.
You want them to live.
I want them to live.
Too late for some of them.
I know I did make those wishes.
Yep. All right. Deb Tunt, what do you want to plug?
Well, I want to plug. I did get hair plugs, which I want to plug. I know they look.
No wonder you look so great.
Thank you. They're just my bangs. But the other thing I'd like to plug.
You just wait. Sorry. You just got implanted bangs?
Were you?
Yeah.
Were you-
well,
you-
I
you
wanted
couldn't
to
grow them
try.
there?
No, I don't have any hair follicles here.
So you wanted to get the bangs, but you didn't want to cut them yourself because then
I
that's committing
can't.
to the
There's
bangs.
nothing there.
Oh.
It doesn't. I
None
look
of those
like
baby hairs up top.
No, I
Just a little confused. So you do have.
think it's pretty straightforward.
So you sort of have a Larry. You have a Larry David kind of.
It looks
normally?
like someone was putting on a bald cap and then got a phone call.
a good phone call.
No, because they didn't come back.
It looks like so.
So someone putting on a bald cap got a phone call that their
actually
parents died.
Made it harder for me to picture.
Okay. Well, I can send you some documents, but I wanted
All
to
right.
plug my plugs.
Please do send those
Well, the
documents. to my
plugs
PO
look
box.
fantastic.
Thank you, Sarah. I mean it. And there's also I don't love comic books, but there is on HBO Max. There's gonna be it's called Batman: The Audio Recordings. It's coming out, and I'm plugging it for a friend. I don't.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's very nice.
So this is the show set in the town where billionaire Playboy Bruce Wayne resides. Is that not?
I'm not
true?
familiar with Batman, but
Okay.
I don't think so because it's called Batman. So
Oh, okay,
I don't
got
think it would be about another person.
Okay, got
That
it.
makes
And that's
sense. That makes
coming out soon.
That's coming out soon on HBO Max.
Wonderful. I want to plug. Look, this is the week for it. Sarah, you mentioned The Lonely Island. The Lonely Island and I made a holiday special for Netflix called Michael Bolton's Big Sexy Valentine's Day, which this is the week to watch it. It's got Akiva and I co-directed it, and it's got Andy Samberg and Maya Rudolph and Randall Park and Michael Bolton, of course. So many great. It's about an hour long, really funny special we made a couple of years ago. This is the week to do it. Celebrate with your lover. Curl up with your bowl of hot tea and
yes.
really make an evening out of it.
That's on the list.
Well, that's on the list. Let's close up the old plug bag. But before we do that, we have a new remix by John Astonish. So let's hear that.
When you see something open, get a rope up and start to twist. Then you find that you're getting a little eye missed. You think you're crying and you know what to do. Get up in there and do what you do. You gotta open up the plug bag. Open it up. Open up the plug bag. Make sure it's not closed. Open up the plug bag. Make sure you got oxygen. And don't mess around with it. Make sure you don't mess around. Don't mess around. You make sure you don't mess around. Don't mess around. Don't mess around. Don't mess around. Talking. Don't mess around. Don't mess around. Talking. Don't mess around. Don't mess around. And don't mess around. Don't mess around. Talking. Don't mess around. Open that shit.
Okay. Thank you to John Astonish for that remix. Normally a remix adds more than just a few random
I was
sounds
going to
on
say,
the
do
drum
you
machine.
listen to these before you
No,
play them
I
or
guess
no?
I like to be surprised by
They're
them.
all unvetted. Okay.
Are you not? I mean, it seems a bit unkind to John Astonish.
Oh, no, John Astonish, we appreciate...
Me? No,
Yeah, they just seemed a little judgy.
it was just a question about the procedure. That's
Oh,
all.
just a procedural. I got
Just a
it.
procedural question.
Oh, okay, got it.
I
Yeah.
love procedural.
You love the parliamentary process when it comes to the...
Yes.
Guys, I want to thank you so much. Sarah, first of all, so nice to meet you. You're so wonderful to have on the show.
You really are.
And one of our favorite actresses. Fuck it, I'll just say actors for 2 decades now. And good luck with Firefly Lane, whatever it may be about.
Thank you so much for having me. This was such the highlight of my day.
Oh, wonderful. And it's your day's just beginning, so
Really, it was
I'm assuming you can peer into the future.
It was the highlight of my 10 to 12. It really was. No, I'm such a fan of your show, and this was so fun to get to come on. So really, thank you
so
for having
much.
me.
And Deb Tunt, so great to meet you as well. Good
I
luck with
can't-
all of your dogs. I presume your dogs are just, it's a fuck fest going on there in your establishment?
Oh,
Is that-
no. It is a natural turn
natural,
of events.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
You had a bit of John Astonish in that. answer.
Well, I'm going to put that in my pocket for when I need it, when I need a pick-me-up. So thank you.
Okay, well, I hope that's not soon. I hope your life is just a wonderful experiences coming at you and no depression at all. That's what I wish of all of my guests.
55, can you believe it?
I cannot. Happy birthday to you. And Bill Eikenberry, so wonderful to meet you.
Oh, yeah.
Nice to meet you, Scott. Thank you for
hope
having me on the
that's-
show.
Yeah, I hope that they continue to make trash so you don't have to close down any of these stores.
Oh, no. Hey, goodbye.
Oh, so you're saying goodbye?
Yeah,
That's just the way
that's the end of the show, right?
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, everyone, goodbye. Bye. We'll see you next time. Bye.